Hey everyone, welcome back to Chinese Medicine Podcast. It's Marie Hopkinson here. I've got a really exciting announcement today. I'm launching a new course in Chinese medicine diet therapy. So if you're interested in learning about dampness, you're interested in learning about longevity throughout your life cycle, this is a full-on 12-week course that I'm opening up, and it's starting in May. So it's starting in just a couple of weeks' time. You have to click the link below to find out more. And if you're interested in learning in the course, you're not sure what's right for you, you can book a free call with me to have a discussion one-on-one over the phone, over Zoom, and we can kind of chat about what's the right thing for you to do. I only want people to come into this course who are really interested in learning it. I don't want you to waste your money or be doing something that's not going to be meeting your needs. So this is all based around self-help treatment. So what I'm going to do now is talk about what's in the course, give you a bit of an overview about it, and then you can make up your mind, see if this is right for you, something that you'd like to do. So if you've been watching this channel for a while and you think, I've been learning a lot from you, Marie, I've been learning a lot, about all things Chinese medicine and self-health based, particularly about foods and gut health, what this course will do is it will give you some kind of structure and systematic way of learning. Now, it's not a course for practitioners, but what I'm going to teach in this 12-week program is stuff that I would teach to practitioners. So what do practitioners do with that knowledge? Well, some people learn this knowledge and they don't do anything with it. Some practitioners don't really practice Chinese diet therapy, but it gives them the tools to do that if they want to. But a lot of people in the courses that I've taught over the years, when they learn this, like students of Chinese medicine, they end up using this information for themselves. Like they end up starting to use it on themselves first, and you're pushing your shopping trolley around the supermarket, you're thinking, what should I buy that's healthy for me in Chinese medicine? What should I buy that's going to, sort out this pattern of disharmony that I know that I have, that I'm trying to treat with herbs, or I'm trying to treat with acupuncture. And you might be doing quite a successful treatment with some of those things with herbs and acupuncture, but you want to do more for it, or you want to support your body in health. Like you don't necessarily have something wrong with you even, or you have something very minor wrong. Like you might have a bit of a sore throat or a bit of a cough, or a skin thing that happens that recurs. And you might think, I want to know how I can approach this with foods as medicine. So foods is the oldest source of medicine that we have. Right? We know this from looking at historical records, and we can sort of infer that from how herbs are used. So what's the difference between a herb and a food? Sometimes it's just simply the dosage of it, the amount that's used, and the dosage that makes it more medicinal, rather than just something that we would eat. But everything that we put in our mouths has a property, right? It has a property. It's either going to help us or it's going to hinder us. So part of Chinese diet therapy, a massive part, is actually just avoiding certain things, like stopping eating things that will hinder us, stopping things that will make us worse. And I'm going to cover lots of different aspects of Chinese diet therapy throughout this course. So one of the things I'm going to cover is things like women's health, so what to eat, different seasons of your cycle. So postpartum, after you've had a baby, there's a lot of diet advice for that in Chinese medicine. Also, what to eat for different menstrual disorders, like you might have really heavy periods or painful periods, something like that. I'm going to talk about different things in women's health. That's one whole week on that. There's also a whole week on children's health, like how to wean babies in Chinese medicine. They have a way, a system. And that also then sets up your gut health as a kid to actually be less prone to things like allergies and things like that. And also in that child's health one, we're going to talk about how would you help kids who have allergies or have sort of things going on that might flare up from time to time. So like kids that constantly get snotty noses or things like that. Now the first 3 weeks of the course is also going to be offered as a standalone little individual course as well. And that's going to teach you about what is the digestive system in Chinese medicine, what is our gut health, how are we supposed to be looking after this, what kinds of foods should we generally choose, and how do we just promote health? How do we work towards repairing our gut and healing our gut? Now, I'll tell you now, there's a huge amount that Chinese medicine has to offer in this, and it's really an underutilized area. Because a lot of people don't want to do the work that it takes. Like a lot of patients don't necessarily want to do that. They come to a practitioner and they're looking for kind of a quick fix. But this can also be the difference between you needing to see a practitioner for weeks and weeks and years versus, weeks and weeks and months, or, only a few weeks if something was acutely occurring. So for people that don't want to have to pay for treatment for years, I see patients that this happens to, right? And sometimes we can't avoid that from happening, but there's ways we can lessen that or help ourselves. So that's what Chinese diet therapy is all about. It's about using foods as medicine. So there's 1 week on medicinal wines, just like looking at how you can make your own medicinal wines. This is a massive part of Chinese culture, where even longevity kind of foods are given as gifts to elderly people, and not just elderly people can benefit from medicinal wines, but we can all benefit from them. But they are particularly recommended for people that are older rather than people that are younger. We talk about medicinal teas, herbal teas. How can you make different kinds of teas? And, to be set up to kind of think about foods in a Chinese medicine way. So there's a few different weeks on the properties of nuts and seeds, meats, poultry, fish, fruit and vegetables, and, the list goes on. So when we talk about those things, I'll teach you how to think about, like, what's a pear in Chinese medicine? Like, what does that do? What organ does that help? What's the nature of it, being that it's like slightly sweet versus something that's very sweet as a fruit, something that's much more sugary and syrupy, like an apricot, or something that's, somewhere in between there. Maybe something that's very bitter, like, some kind of bitter kind of berries and things like that. We can really sort of think about what foods do by their flavours and what foods do by their coolness or their warmness, so their thermal nature. So some foods are very hot, like a chili, and some foods are very cold, like cucumber. And then what we do to those foods, like how we cook them, can actually change their nature again. So you might love cucumber, and do you know that in China they actually cook cucumber? I've had fried cucumber before. As an Australian, I've never seen that on a menu here. But I had fried cucumber with garlic, and it was very interesting to kind of think about, okay, in general, Chinese culture follows a lot of this advice that we would consider healthy advice for Chinese medicine, because it's ingrained in the culture. Now, I'm not saying every person in China is following this, certainly not, but in a general sense, it's much more well known by people how to stay healthy and how to be healthy. So if you want your skin to look good, if you want to have more energy, if you want to know about how to kind of self-diagnose things before they become really big problems. So like, for instance, if you have, your bowels are going a bit loose, or you've got a bit of constipation, what you could do about that in a food sense. This is not a replacement for seeing a practitioner, but it's something to help you along the journey of wanting to help yourself. And it's certainly a lot cheaper than going and doing a course in Chinese medicine if you don't want to become a practitioner, you just want to do it for self-interest. So this is part of my 1-year program, but I'm just offering this as a standalone 12-week course. So it's 3 hours a week. It'll be live on Zoom. You'll be able to see me live every week, and you'll be able to have a chat and an interaction. But if you can't make that time slot when the course is on, then there'll be a recording that you'll have access to. So if you purchase the course for the recording, then I'll also include a one-on-one chat with me, a free call, and you can book that at any time. So, you might book that partway through or at the end, and you can chat and ask your questions in that half an hour time with me, just one-on-one, no one else in there. So that's a special bonus I'm only doing for people from the podcast. So you'll need to put that in your notes when you sign up for the course and say, I'm a subscriber, Marie. I'd like to get my access to my free call, because that's not going to be advertised on the website. But I will give that to people if they say they're from the podcast and you can't come to the lives and you want to just get it for the recording. So you can click the link below. The cost is all in Australian dollars, so it's much cheaper if you're in America or UK. The price is a lot cheaper than the price there, so don't think, oh wow, that's expensive, because Australian dollars are a lot, like it's 1 to 4 basically so it's a 70% of the cost in US dollars. So you can click the link below and find out more, and if you're not sure even by reading it, you can send me an email and I'll try to help you, or you can book a free call with me by Zoom and I can talk to you over Zoom and we can have a chat and work out what's the best kind of course for you to enroll in. So I'd love to see you on the course. I know this isn't much notice. I've been very busy in my life and in my teaching. I really want to do this and invite more people to join. So I've only just made the website, literally made the website today. So I hope that you can be part of it and join with me, because this is a great way to learn systematically and structuredly. So I hope that you enjoy the course, and I'll see you again on another video soon. Thank you.